Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. Director Ivo van Hove's critically acclaimed production of Arthur Miller's classic A View from the Bridge has come to Broadway's Lyceum Theatre. And we're here on opening night to celebrate with a company led by Mark Strong. First of all, I can say it. Welcome to Broadway. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. It's a wonderful thing to have this particular play as well. But to be on Broadway, it's a dream. You know, we've moved from the Young Vic to the West End to Broadway. And it's a testament to this amazing production that we're here.
You probably had no idea the journey this production was going to take, did you?
No, originally I thought it would be an 8-week commitment at the small theatre, the Young Vic, which is the old rehearsal space for the old Vic. And it was dipping my toe back into theatre. I hadn't done a play for about 12 years, working with a so-called avant-garde director. And I thought that's where it would stay. But the journey's been an incredible one. And to be here now it's a real privilege.
What's it like living in the world of Arthur Miller?
You live in a world that is true and honest and coruscating, and the man scratches the veneer of civilization to show you that all is not rosy in the garden. There is subtext to his work. There is incredible human emotion, all attached to this tiny little story about a couple and their niece.
And what a wonderful role. What a tough role, I would think, to play Eddie. Is he?
Yeah, it's tough emotionally. But you make your choice about which journey you're going to make. I mean, different people play him in different ways. I knew exactly what I wanted to do with my guy, and it's you're on stage for 80 of 90 pages. People come on, you do scenes with them, they go off, you're still there, and you have to take the audience on a journey and allow them to understand exactly what's going on in this guy's mind. But you can't alienate them. You need to kind of elicit their sympathy. You need them to understand the dilemma that you're going through, I think. Otherwise, you push them away. So it's a very complicated journey that you have to negotiate.
And working with this remarkable cast.
The casts are extraordinary. I mean, being on stage with Nicola Walker is an absolute joy. It's effortless, and she is always there. I look in her eyes and I see that she's there, always. And the same is true of Phoebe. I mean, they are fantastic, both of the girls in this play. And the new guys that have come in, they're doing an amazing job. They had very little time to get up to speed, but they're now seamless. You would never know that they haven't been on the journey with us. And even the smaller parts, without Tom and Richard doing the work that they're doing, you wouldn't have the whole that makes this play so good.
And having the cast on stage with you, we felt like we're in the show with you. What is it like for you?
It's great having the audience there, because you realize that every tiny thought that flits across your face, or every moment in your eyes that betrays something, is being picked up by somebody. I think there are different experiences in the theatre. People who are sitting high up talk about how wonderful it is seeing the movement on stage, and people in the stalls talk about the power that but people on stage are getting a very visceral version. None is necessarily better or worse than the other, but they're just different.
So when you took your bow tonight on stage, Broadway debut, do you remember what you were thinking?
I was exhausted but happy.
First of all, now I can say it, welcome back to Broadway. How does it feel?
You looked up there. How does it feel to be back on Broadway? The dream. Tonight just feels like a very, very special night that I never thought we'd get to. Whenever you do a play, you feel like you have all these benchmarks which you have to get to. Like you get the first day rehearsal, you get the first preview, or the first dress, first preview. Then you have all the press coming in, and then you have opening night. And it's like, we're never going to get there. And then you're there. And now it's like, okay, cool. Relax, now the play is ours, and now we can just perform it, and we're not in previews anymore. It's like, this is our show, we're really owning it, and it just feels incredibly exciting. Exciting to do Arthur Miller on Broadway. As a boy from London, to be over in New York doing that just feels it's the best feeling. I'm having such a great time. I'm having a great time in the city, and I'm having a wonderful time on this show.
You sizzle, everybody sizzles on stage. I mean, you feel, as the audience, that we're confined with all of you in that apartment, outside. I mean, and to have the audience on stage, what's that like for you?
It just fuels the intensity. The whole point of this show is for it to strip back and show you the rawness and the truth in the text, and the text is so you know, it just rattles along at a point where it's a terrifying tragedy. Everybody can see where it's going, and to have an audience there on top of you while you're kind of ratcheting along, it's great to go out there. You just feel this like energy, and that's what this show is about. It's about energy. It's about carrying this energy, portraying the energy from off the stage and the energy from the audience on the stage. There's definitely a dialogue going on between us as performers and the audience.
And playing Rodolfo, what a great role for you.
Yeah,
what's he like? I love the hair. Yeah,
blonde. Yeah, I've always wanted to be blonde.
Well,
and they do have more fun. And what's it like playing Rodolfo? Well, he's like an iconic character, and it's again just. I'm incredibly fortunate. I'm incredibly lucky, and I've like seized it. I've gone, okay, cool. I'm gonna do Rodolfo. I'm gonna do Arthur Miller, and I'm gonna do Rodolfo, and this is what I'm gonna give you guys. So I'm honoured. I'm honoured.
You know, we talked very early on. I mean, you came in and Michael came in. You had a be off book. Everybody else on the show had already done it. What was it like? You all worked so well together. What were those rehearsals like with Ivo on stage?
Well, yeah, again, to rehearse on stage in costume with full lighting and sound is rare. You're always in a rehearsal room, dusty on the floor somewhere with your text. To be honest, it's totally inspired me as a performer. I feel like now I want to learn all my lines before I do a play. A lot of actors are reluctant to do that because what you do as an actor when you're rehearsing plays, it's all about muscle memory. So you realise that you're sat in that chair at this point and you say that line, and then you move over this side of the room and then you say that line, and then this whole monologue comes out which takes you back here. With this, there's this, like, you know it, you've got to get out there and do it. And we only had like a week. We had like 9 days to rehearse it before we had an audience in there. So it was like we had to be in that position. But the challenge, it was like, that's the challenge. And I was like, well, right, so the whole point is pushing yourself to extremes. And you want to, and as my career continues, I want to be in a place where I'm always shitting myself, basically, and then wiping it up. That's not a great...
No, it really is.
You know what I mean?
Everybody
like,
I speak
shit. Okay, that's clean that up. Next one. It's like, that's the whole point. You want to be challenged, and this has totally challenged me and enthralled me and made me incredibly happy.
I love it. Working with this cast too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone's just so good. Mark, Nicola, Phoebe, Michael, Richard. Everyone is so welcoming. Which could have been terrifying. It's terrifying for them because there's new energy coming in and they're used to doing it a certain way, but they've been so brilliant. And me and Michael Zegan, we got brought in together. He plays my brother Marco. So we've been on this little journey and we bonded really well. And we go like the meatball shop and have dinner after shows. And he's my mate. And everyone wants it. Everyone on this show wants it. They want it to be the best it can be. And everyone is incredibly proud. And that's why they've all come over with it. And that's why we're all here.
My final question is, when you took your bow tonight, do you remember what you were thinking?
I was trying to find my mum, but could you see that? No, all right. Well, I was trying, because I don't look at the audience, but my mum was on the side stage tonight, but when you're doing your bows, I can't. It's too dark, the lighting, so I can't see. So I was really looking for her, and I know that she'd been trying to catch my eye, so I'm gonna have to go and grab her and give her a massive squeeze in a minute. But that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, where's my mum? I hope she enjoyed it. And I hope everyone out there has just enjoyed it.
Welcome to Broadway. How does it feel? I can finally say it.
It feels absolutely wonderful. We're all very overexcited to be here.
You know, we spoke very early on, but it was really unique for you all because you didn't have to go to a rehearsal studio. You actually rehearsed the show in costume on stage at the Lyceum before you started previews. That's so rare.
Yeah, Ivo breaks quite a lot of the rules, which is part of why it's so much fun to work with him. You turn up knowing all your lines in your costume, and before you've even really spent any time with the director, and then he takes away your props and your shoes, and he goes through it chronologically, and he's pushing all the time to make absolutely the best version of the play that he can possibly make.
It's so crystal clear. I saw things in this production, and I've seen like 9 productions of You from the Bridge. I saw things in this that I had never seen before, and I was like, oh, now I see it.
I know, that's interesting, isn't it? I think it does that. I think if you take away a set and props and what you leave you just leave Miller's words and the human beings trying to avoid an absolute disaster, then it means you go back and hear I think you hear Miller's script in a slightly different way. You've also got the musical underscoring, which I've never been in a show that's done that. I've never seen a show that's done it either, and that's sort of pushing everybody along as well. It's like it's sort of relentless scoring.
And playing this woman, is she a challenge emotionally?
Yeah, I suppose she is, but how lucky to get to do that. Yes, it is, and it's slightly, the joy is it's different every night. And I was saying to Mark on the way over here, I heard something tonight. Beatrice said something, and I heard it in a different way because of the way he'd been speaking to me. I heard it in a different way, and I can't wait. I'm going to go back tomorrow night, and I'm going to try it completely. I've got, oh, that's how I should be doing it. And I love that this is our third run of this show, and if you ask any one of the actors in it, they will all say the same, that every night you come off and you've found another way of doing something, and you can't wait to go and do it again.
It's just all of you out there in this little playing area, and then there's the audience. It was so riveting to sit on stage and watch you all do what you do.
And I don't know if it felt like for you as the audience, you are in it. So you are a big part of it, and we can feel you leaning in, and we can feel you pushing away from us line on line, and how your allegiances in this show switch from moment to moment. No one is painted in this as morally black and white, good or bad. And sometimes I find myself, moving along with a character for a while, and then being totally repelled by them, by something they say, one thing they say. But you can feel the audience doing that as well. You can see them leaning forward and then rejecting you slightly. And then
they come back too. It's very interesting. Yeah, the allegiance. I love that.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? You can see people leaning in and leaning out. Yeah.
And working with this cast.
Yeah, it's an amazing cast. Absolutely brilliant cast. Yes. But also, I think the brilliant thing for all of us is that we've got to have Ivo and Jan and everyone back again. You end up a bit like an appalling jealous lover. That they go on and do another show. I mean, he's now working with David Bowie. I can just about bear that, because I obviously love David Bowie as well. But you feel that you yearn for them to be back, to be working with them.
So, welcome to Broadway with this Broadway debut.
Yes, it is my Broadway debut, and it was very, very exciting. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, what was tonight like for you? You only get one debut on Broadway, and this is so exciting.
Well, it's a great audience. It's a great buzz. We're very proud of our show, and it's been pretty much universally appreciated since we've been here. So I guess we felt confident, but there's nothing certain. But it went really well, and we're very pleased.
Talk about the role that you play.
So I love playing Alfieri, particularly in this production, because he gets so immersed in the story. Sometimes he's slightly marginalised, put somewhere else on the stage. Whereas in this, I get my feet wet, literally. Yeah.
Yes. Working with Ivo.
Ivo is fantastic. He's a fantastic director, and it's nearly 2 years ago since I met him, and I've grown to completely adore what he's done for us, and he's given us such scope within the piece on a nightly basis to move with it and to have an organic experience every night. So, and he's given us that by giving us a very clear and straightforward kind of idea of what this play is.
And working on Miller, one of our greatest playwrights.
My dad loved Arthur Miller, and when he died, my mum gave me a copy of Arthur Miller's Time Bends for helping out with the funeral. So every night now I take my dad on stage with this one. So it's.
So I was going to ask you, when you took your bow tonight on stage, Broadway debut, do you remember what you were thinking?
No. I know what I was feeling, and that was I just felt very moved by the whole experience, and it was a great night for that. I think we all crackled tonight, and that was great. It was great.
And working with this company of actors.
It's a brilliant company, you know. It's incredibly robust, and we can see into the whites of each other's eyes, and we know what the other ones. We've got a real instinct for each other now, a real intuition with each other, you know. And the new guys have done incredibly well to, you know, get involved so swiftly, and the old guard are still there doing our thing, and you can move. We have a lot of mobility within the scenes because of the way each of us is with each other. We trust each other so enormously, and we can go anywhere with it now, and it's great to do.
Welcome to Broadway. It's your debut. How do you feel?
Excited. I mean, this is a dream come true. It really is. And it happened in the most unusual way. So it's a dream come true. It's what I've always wanted to do, and here I am. So, yeah.
Did you just get a call one day saying they want you to go into the show here in New York?
Yeah, sort of. It was totally unexpected. I got a call about the audition, and I was like, and I had actually seen the play in London. I was in London in February, and I had seen the play, and I never in a million years thought I'd be in the play. Actually, I walked by the theater like a month and a half ago, and I saw, you know, the sign, and I was like, you know what, I'd see that again. And now I'm in it, so yeah.
So I was talking to Russell. You and Russell sort of went in together. You like buddied already. I mean, what's it like stepping into a show? Because you were told be off book, and you were like right in the theater already. There was no rehearsing except for rehearsing on stage, right?
Yes, it was intimidating to say the least. It was scary. It was the first day of rehearsal. We were in our costumes, and we were in the theater on stage in this fully built set. And they were like, "Okay, go," and I didn't know. It's like the actor's nightmare. I mean, that's what it is. You know, I had no idea what the blocking was or anything like that. I'm acting against Mark Strong, who's one of the best actors in the world. It was intimidating. It really was. But you know, over time, we got more and more comfortable, and here we are. So
I'm sure it's exciting all at the same time. It's like the two of you are brothers to begin with. You join the company together. You come in together, and you're like, you know, you're in this journey together. It's so electric to watch all of you work on stage. What's it like performing with this company?
It's incredible. I mean, there's no weak link. I learn something new every night. It's like a masterclass every night. And I couldn't be more fortunate to not only work with this cast, but with Ivo, who's one of the most talented directors out there. I mean, he really is. He really lives up to the hype. He really does. You know, he has all the answers, and there's nothing that you want more than a director who has all the answers.
And playing Marco, what you love about the role?
He's desperate and yet a little bit menacing. You know, his character definitely evolves over the course of the play. So there is that desperation, but in time, you see him kind of evolve. And then I'm not going to spoil the ending, but but you do see him evolve. So he becomes, he kind of blossoms in a way that maybe you didn't expect.
When you lift that chair, is it as hard as it looks?
Well, I've been hitting the gym, so it's
You have been.
Yeah. No, it's a heavy chair. I don't know why they didn't use balsa wood or some type of you know, aluminum or something. I have no idea. But yeah, it's a heavy chair. And the first couple of times during rehearsals, I did drop it. It was embarrassing. Some of the producers were in attendance when this happened. But I don't even think about it anymore. It's holding it up there for you know, the minute or so that I'm doing it is kind of a little stressful on the arm. But they did get me some physical therapy, so everything's cool.
It's such a powerful moment. It's like the only prop.
Yeah. Yes. It pretty much is the only prop in the play. Yeah. And I think there's a cigar too. But yeah.
If you could sum up the best part of the experience of working on this so far, Michael, what's it been for you?
It's Broadway. It's a dream come true. It really is. It's what since I was a little kid, you know, my parents always took me to shows, and this has been my dream, and I'm living it, and it's incredible.
So when you took your bow tonight, Broadway debut at the Lyceum, do you remember what you were thinking?
I was thinking, this is it. I really was. I remember looking up in the balcony and thinking, this is what I've worked towards, and it's really incredible. It's just an amazing experience, and I couldn't be more thankful to everyone involved.
So here we are, I can finally say it. Welcome to Broadway. How does it feel?
It's very surreal. This is really surreal. It's we never thought we'd make it to Broadway. You know, when we started this 2 years ago, never thought we'd end up here. It's a real trip.
I was asking Mark. Mark said he thought it'd be like an 8-week commitment. No one had any idea. Now here you are on Broadway at the Lyceum.
I know. I mean, it's sort of it's lovely that we started this without any pretensions of where it would go, but to bring this play back home. It's such a relief that people like it. It felt very bold that we should even consider doing that. So for people to really respond to it, and no one has said anything about the accents yet, or at least not.
They won't. They will not. This is what good theater is all about.
Okay, it's good.
What's it like living in the world of Arthur Miller?
It's you just realise what a genius that man was. I still think I could carry on and carry on. If my body could do it, I could carry on doing this play, and I would still find new things. I mean, every word and every sentence is placed and structured in a particular way to... It's extraordinary.
What a great role. What is it like playing her?
It's wonderful and harrowing and tiring, but it's a gift. It's a gift for someone who normally gets cast as a sort of ingenue part. You know, ingenues tend to be a bit. They come on and they cry, and normally they die, and you know. And Catherine it's you get to go on this mad journey and go from girl to woman, you know, through this awful realization about your life. So it's hard, actually. It's hard but wonderful.
But you're all in this together, working with this cast.
We really feel like a company, and it's made me realize that actually the best theatre is all about the company, when everyone's just feeding off each other. You know, that's what it's about, and that's what makes it enjoyable.
You know, I sat on stage to see the show, and it's incredible because I feel like we're in it with you. And, you know, our allegiance changes during the show of who we follow. Do you see that as performers? Do you hear or see the audience going back and forth?
I hadn't really clocked the changing of allegiance. What's great for us is that we can hear people's reactions, you know, people gasping and, you know, literally saying some things out loud, like, oh no. You know, it's wonderful for us. You get a real kick out of it.
Making your debut tonight, do you remember what you thought when you took your bow?
I can't think. What did I think? No. I think I was kind of relieved that it was over. If opening night feels like something you kind of just have to get over before you can start the run, you know.
Well, now the play is all yours. It's just between you and the audience now for the rest of your magical run here.
Exactly. And we look forward to seeing where it will grow and where it will go.
Well, first of all, congratulations. Welcome to Broadway. How does it feel?
It's fantastic. I'm a bit overwhelmed by it. It's something so far away when you start making theater when you're young. And it's like an enormous dream come true. It's a bit unreal at this moment still, but I will be getting better in a few hours, I guess.
What was tonight like? A Broadway opening at that beautiful theater of the Lyceum. How you felt when the cast took their bow tonight?
Well, of course we had a lot of previews already, and still it was like really a very special moment. I was like, yeah, it's a very happy moment. Very deeply happy, yeah.
Tell me what it's been like living in the world of Arthur Miller and A View from the Bridge. The whole concept, did you and Ivo work on this together? How did you come up with the look and the feel you wanted to have for the show?
Well, that goes way back, I must say. It's always a rather long process that goes over talking and thinking and expressing ideas, and I think one of the most important reasons, maybe also that the play, apart from the actors' performances, they are fantastic. What helped make the play so good is that I think we loved each of the characters. We had a deep love and respect for what Miller wrote in these characters. And I think all these different layers and all these different themes that are in the play made it for us very necessary to open up the play and to take it out of its naturalistic shell, which is only the package in which it comes. And I think we tried very hard to take it out of the package and to to go straight on to the relationships and the themes in it, and to the unbelievable structure of the play. So
It's all in the writing. I mean, like Ivo told me before, it's a beautifully written piece. It tells the story. It tells everything on its own without filling it up with food and couches and furniture and all that other things.
yes. Well, it's all in that story. They all tell it, and every word, every sentence has its value. But we thought it wasn't necessary to illustrate all these things, apart from maybe the cigar and the chair. We really try to be very honest about it, and to be also the actors. We've always been talking about it during the rehearsals. Do we need the props? Do we not need the props? We had a secret room with all the props inside, just in case that it wouldn't work. I think it's a process, and actors were really very. After a few days, they were really opening up and coming into it, and I think that's really part of the success of the play now, that they are so strong, also without that shell of things to protect.
Welcome to Broadway. How do you feel?
Well, this morning when I got up, I was really stressed because I was very much aware this is my debut now on Broadway, the real one, and you only get one, So it happened. I must say, the performance tonight was very well done by the actors. So I was very pleased and very relaxed during the performance itself.
That's great. It's like giving your baby away.
Yeah, but I've been giving it away already for 150 performances. We have done more than over 150 performances. But of course, this was a very special thing, to be on Broadway with Arthur Miller. Arthur Miller, one of the greatest playwrights, American playwrights of all times. So I'm very happy that this is my debut with a production that I myself like a lot, and that I think is one of the best I ever directed. For me, and everybody can think what they want, but I'm fine with it.
He's such a brilliant writer. What I love about the production that you and Jan have put together, you stripped it all away to the script. That beautiful story he tells. The whole story is told through the words.
That's true, but I think it's all in the words with Arthur Miller, in the text of Arthur Miller. It's so great because it's so well written, this play. Every line is there for a reason, and it's written that from the first line on, you know that the catastrophe will happen. You don't know when, but that it will happen. It's written really like a modern Greek tragedy, and that's the way that we did it.
Interesting, I like that. And then the cast, what a beautiful cast.
Yeah, it's great. It's almost the whole original English cast. I have three new actors. Russell Tovey, English, wonderful actor, Michael Zegan, American, great actor, I think. And then Tom Hammond, it's great. So I'm blessed with this cast. And what's good about this cast is that it feels like an ensemble of actors. They are working for each other. They really want to do the play together, to bring the best for everybody, not only to shine one individual on themselves.
And what I love what you did is you didn't have to do a rehearsal studio here. Your rehearsals were actually on the stage at the Lyceum.
Yeah, that was great. Scott Rudin Productions did a great job by giving that to us. We could, from day one, we could rehearse on stage, which helps a lot and which I love always anyway.
And collaborating with Jan in the theater world, I mean, you have this beautiful relationship, personally and professionally. What is it like working together?
I don't know what's like not working together, because we worked together now for over 36 years. So we did all theater productions together, all opera productions together, and it's really like a collaboration. It's like it's our life also. We express what we are, what we feel, what we think in our theater productions. And at this moment, I'm working on the David Bowie at Lazarus, which is a totally different world from the view from the bridge. And it's also visually a totally different world, and we like that. We inspire each other. Also, after 36 years, it never becomes like, just another production. We really challenge each other, because for us it's our life, and you better don't fool around with your life, I think.